No, un poquito. Okay. All right.
And also I want to do interviews.
Okay. All right.
So,
And you're going to use your phones to record?
yes, it's just for help me if the
That's okay.
video.
Okay.
Hablas alto. Ya, ok.
Tú cuéntame.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, today we are at Zen with an American blues harmonica player and singer, and also he has played with the best as Willie Dixon, Johnny Winter, Coco Taylor, Eddie Clearwater, and more. He is Billy Branch. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, to start the interview, tell me more about your beginnings in music and all those things.
Well, what do you want to know?
Where did this feel for the music, and especially for the blues, born in you? What made you go for this career as a musician?
Well, I learned to play harmonica. I taught myself when I was very young. And when I was going to college, I discovered the blues in Chicago, where I was born. And the blues, Chicago, is the blues capital of the world. There's more blues played in Chicago, more musicians, more clubs than any place. And so, when I was taking classes in college, I met a good friend of mine, was the son of a famous blues harmonica player. He was the stepson. And that harmonica player was Junior Wells. Junior Wells had played at a club called Teresa's Lounge. So I started going down to Teresa's Lounge. And eventually, I'm listening and I'm practicing. I had enough courage to try to get up and play. And then there were so many clubs. There was maybe more than 30 clubs. And so there was the very great musicians. Unfortunately, most of them now have passed on. They have died. But I got to hear all of these great musicians, like you say, Coco Taylor and Willie Dixon, Sunnyland Slim, and Otis Rush. Taj Mahal was not in Chicago, but I have recorded with Taj Mahal recently a new album. A song called Don't Believe Me Here. It was Kevmo. It's called Taj Mahal.
And how do you remember Willie Dixon?
Willie Dixon was the man that probably influenced me more than anyone else, because I was in his band for 6 years, and he was the man who was kind of, with Muddy Waters, kind of the architect of the Chicago blues sound. He was the writer and arranger and producer for Chess Records. So Willie Dixon, you know, he wrote more than 500 or 600 songs that all famous blues singers and rock singers and folk singers have recorded. So Willie Dixon had a intense love and appreciation for the blues, and he was always teaching us about how important the blues was.
And do you think that the blues has given something to the American culture or American music?
It's the foundation of all of America. All of America's music came from the blues. The challenge that we've always been faced with is that the blues doesn't get the recognition as the other genres, such as rock and roll and pop and even jazz. But it is where all of these genres came from. They were born out of the blues.
And what does represent to you being the successor of Carrie Bell?
Pardon?
What does being the successor of Carrie Bell represent to you?
Well, Carrie Bell, I learned a lot. He was a great harmonica player. And I did replace him when he left the Willie Dixon band. And that was a very important moment for me. And it was a big honor, and it was a great responsibility, because he was such a good harmonica player. To replace him, it was very intimidating. But eventually, I became comfortable with that role.
And now, let's talk more about Billy Branch as a musician and teacher.
Okay.
Are you yet in charge of the program denominated Blues in School?
Well, I was one of the first people to practice the blues in schools. I began in 1978, and I'm still doing it. And today we had a blues in schools session here in Guayaquil, and it's very important because most of the younger people and a lot of the older, they do not understand the importance and the significance of the blues. It's very important to know where that the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix, all the famous rock people, as well as jazz people, were heavily influenced by the blues.
And exactly, what is it about? It is for making musicians or just to create more conscience about the music?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
This program is to create new musicians? Or
Well, it's mostly to instill an appreciation and an understanding. Although there are residencies where I'm with a select group of students for maybe 4 weeks or 2 weeks, and they do perform, and they all learn harmonica, and on occasion they learn the various instruments. And I do have a few students from many years ago that are now professional musicians. But even the ones that I had more than 30 years ago, when I see them, they're grown, they have children, they have grandchildren, they say, Mr. Branch, I still have my harmonica, and my children know about the blues because of what we learned from you.
So now, we are going to talk about another topic, a more social topic.
Okay.
And the question is, what do you think about the global warming?
Well, it's a terrible thing.
Yes, but do you have any idea or something that you can do or you think that you could do to motivate people to?
Well, that's a kind of, right now it's a controversial topic because right now our current government does not believe in this, so I think it has to come from the top. And the scientists have proven that this is an actual phenomenon. So, the only thing we can do is our part. But we, as individuals, it's hard. It's when the corporations and the governments are not leading us to do things, they got to take the charge.
And now, a personal question: what is Billy Branch afraid of?
Afraid of? What, ghosts? I think anybody is, I wouldn't say afraid of, but I think everyone wants to be successful. And no one wants to be unsuccessful.
And the last question is, your birthday is soon. So if you had the chance to ask for 3 wishes, what would you ask for?
Oh man, I don't know. I think I'd ask for world peace. I'd ask for an end to racial discrimination, and a nice bank account would be nice.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview.
All right.
And I hope that there will be another opportunity. And look in your concert, and please send a greeting to our friends in the YouTube channel.
All right. Well, I'm sending you the best wishes, and I hope that you enjoy the blues as much as we love coming here and presenting our music to you. We hope you support our music, and we thank you for those who do.
Thank you so much, and that's all right.
Okay, that's a wrap. Very good question.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Okay, now you should relax and wait for the
Yeah.
Tírate la foto, tírate la foto.
A photo, please.
All right.